1326 1326. Chapter 1326. Even the wisest can make mistakes. Looking at the pitch-black, glowing demon's eye, Lin Moyu's lips curled into a slight smile. His gaze flickered imperceptibly, lowering slightly. His peripheral vision caught sight of the area below the demon's eye. At the edge of the fake mountain beneath the demon's eye, a stone demon suddenly appeared, only at the 7th level of the Divine King realm. It was covered in wounds, its aura weak. The severe injuries caused by the previous corpse explosion couldn't possibly heal in just a few days. Suddenly, a faint light appeared on the resurrected stone demon, and its injuries rapidly healed, its aura surging. Then it leaped up, charging towards the demon's eye. Before any of the stone demons could react, it had already reached the demon's eye and then exploded violently. Under Lin Moyu's command, it self-destructed. The self-destruction of a 7th-level Divine King was formidable enough to make even an 8th-level Divine King avoid it. His power was no less than Lin Moyu's corpse explosion. In the powerful explosion, the entire base trembled, stones flew everywhere, and the chaotic black stones in the base were thrown into the air, then fell like raindrops. The base was in chaos, with the stone demons inside all shocked, surprised, and confused. The fake mountain housing the demon's eye was destroyed in the explosion, and the demon's eye was blown to pieces. The 3 9th-level Divine King stone demons looked at each other in dismay. They couldn't understand why the stone demon had self-destructed for no reason. Suddenly, one of them realized,
"Damn, that stone demon was controlled by the human race."
It might have been the only moment of clarity in his life, but it was already too late. In the next second, an endless human army appeared before their eyes. The human army had already reached the base, easily shattering the barrier and charging in.
Counterattack!
The 3 9th-level Divine King stone demons roared in unison, launching a full-scale attack. The stone demons in the base also began attacking the human army. Laws surged wildly within the base. Law domains expanded, and black giant stones appeared out of thin air, crashing down on the enemies like meteors. The ground cracked. Yellow sand erupted from the earth, transforming into a sandstorm that covered the sky. Lin Moyu watched this scene and said calmly,
"I underestimated the Lich's ability. Trapping a 9th-level Divine King is no problem, and even the other demons in the base can be trapped in the illusion."
In his vision, the stone demons were frantically attacking various positions within the base. The places they attacked were empty, with no one there. The human army they saw was all an illusion created by the Starlight Galaxy Lich. Above the base, a dazzling law galaxy shimmered, enveloping the entire base. The Starlight Galaxy Lich stood within the law galaxy, controlling the illusion like a deity. As long as the demon's eye was destroyed, the Starlight Galaxy Lich could exert its full power. The barrier had no effect on the illusion. Under the influence of the illusion, the stone demons fought fiercely against their imagined enemies, turning the base into a wreck. Lin Moyu looked at the still intact barrier and said calmly,
"Next, it's your turn."
A flash of fire passed by, and the Flame Galaxy Lich appeared, creating another dazzling law galaxy in the sky. The projection of the Flame Law Galaxy descended with a roar, then reversed, pouring flames onto the barrier. The barrier was engulfed in flames, becoming distorted. However, this scene went unnoticed by the demons inside the base. Under the influence of the illusion, they believed the barrier had already been shattered. They saw the human army swinging their swords, slashing at them, inflicting severe injuries. If they relaxed even slightly, they would be torn apart by the blades. The barrier, being both offensive and defensive, counterattacked when attacked. The Flame Galaxy Lich merged into the Law Galaxy, avoiding the barrier's attacks. In just 5 minutes, the net-like barrier shattered and dissipated into the air. At this moment, the Skeleton King appeared before Lin Moyu, launching a fierce attack on the 7th-level Divine King stone demons. The Legion commanders arrived with their troops, launching their attacks. The skeleton generals followed closely, with 3 million of them forming dense circles. Sword energy engulfed the entire base, falling densely on the stone demons, making sounds like iron being struck. The skeleton general's attack power was weak, barely enough to scratch the surface, but it was better than nothing. Their real purpose was to prevent the demons from escaping. If any demons tried to flee, they could at least delay them, buying some time. However, under the illusion, it was almost impossible for the simple-minded stone demons to escape. Lin Moyu did this just in case. After the Flame Galaxy Lich destroyed the barrier, it began attacking the demons in the base. According to Lin Moryu's prearranged plan, its primary targets were the 7th-level Divine King Stone demons. Lin Moyu didn't let it attack the 9th-level Divine King demons, or even the 8th-level ones. That would be too wasteful. Stone demons killed by the Flame Galaxy Lich wouldn't even leave ashes behind. Lin Moyu still wanted to use the demon corpses as weapons. In his plan, only if the illusion's power was insufficient to trap more than one 9th-level Divine King would the Flame Galaxy Lich deal with the other 9th-level demons. Lin Moyu took out several pieces of flesh, all from 7th-level Divine King demons. Locking onto several demons in the base, the flesh silently turned to powder, and the demons exploded without warning. The exploded stone demons' corpses continued to serve as Lin Moryu's weapons for more corpse explosions. The 7th-level Divine King Stone demons fell like harvested wheat, and Lin Moyu then targeted the 8th-level Divine King demons. For him, group battles were not a concern. As long as one was killed, he could use the battle to sustain himself, growing stronger with each fight. Explosions rang out continuously, and an 8th-level Divine King Stone demon fell, its body shattered, black and yellow blood staining the yellow sand. But this was just the beginning. With the first 8th-level Divine King Stone demon corpse, the rest were no longer a problem. Using it as material, Lin Moyu launched a massacre against the 8th-level Divine King Stone demons. One by one, the 8th-level Divine King Stone demons fell in the violent explosions, losing their lives. The battlefield token at his waist grew hot, continuously recording Lin Moryu's battle achievements. Whether killed by the undead army, the Skeleton King, or the Liches, all counted towards Lin Moryu's achievements. In the sky, the projections of the two law galaxies intertwined, creating a stunning spectacle. The slaughter was swift, and within just over 10 minutes, more than half of the demons in the base were dead or injured. At this moment, the already battered demons' eyes suddenly glowed again. The demons' eyes slowly opened, shooting a beam of light at the Starlight Law Galaxy. The Starlight Law Galaxy trembled violently and then collapsed. The Starlight Galaxy Lich appeared, its aura weakened. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised, not expecting the demon's eye to still be functional. Had he known, he would have delivered another blow earlier. Even the wisest can make mistakes. With a thought, he recalled the Starlight Galaxy Lich. The Starlight Galaxy Lich was injured and had expended too much power, needing time to recover. Trapping all the demons in the base, especially with 3 9th-level Divine King demons, was a significant strain on it. With the illusion gone, the 3 9th-level Divine King Stone demons saw the real situation. 1327, 1327. Chapter 1327. Want to escape? Not a chance. Asterisk asterisk. The base was destroyed, and the demons were almost completely slaughtered. Now, besides himself, only a few demons remained alive, less than 1/10 of their original number. Lin. Even those who were still alive were severely injured and wouldn't last long. And all of this was caused by the human true god in front of them. A mere true god. Who would believe that now? Even the stone demons, with their simple minds, wouldn't believe that Lin Moyu was just a true god.
Die!
The 3 stone demons roared in anger and charged at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't let the Flame Galaxy Lich take action. Despite the demons' eyes suddenly breaking the illusion, Lin Moyu, after a brief shock, already had his next plan. He didn't need the Flame Galaxy Lich to intervene. His previous preparations were enough to deal with them. The bodies of the 9th-level Divine King Stone demons were over 20 meters tall, and it seemed like they could easily crush Lin Moyu with a single slap. However, Scattered around Lin Moyu were over 20 pieces of 8th level Divine King stone demon corpses. Boom! In the explosion, the 3 charging stone demons suddenly halted. A violent explosion erupted in front of them, and the immense force pushed them back continuously. Immediately, the 2nd and 3rd pieces of flesh turned to powder. Explosions erupted simultaneously on their bodies, giving them no chance to react. Lin Moyu firmly locked onto the 3, blasting them until their bodies were torn apart, and stones flew everywhere. The 3 stone demons screamed in agony. In just a few moments, they endured over 6 or 7 powerful attacks, suffering severe injuries.
The defense of 9th level Divine King stone demons is indeed strong.
Lin Moyu observed that the defense of these 3 stone demons far surpassed that of the 8th level Divine King stone demons. Using the flesh of 8th level Divine King stone demons to explode 6 times still couldn't kill them. If it were 7th level flesh exploding against 8th level demons, 3 or 4 times would be enough to kill them. He recalled the information about stone demons. Stone demons are among the demons with the strongest defense. During their growth, their defense undergoes several significant transformations. Each transformation exponentially increases their defense. However, the information didn't specify when these transformations occur. It seems that the 9th level of the Divine King realm is one such transformation, making them completely different from the 8th level.
It seems I need to be more cautious when encountering 9th level Divine King stone demons in the future.
With this thought, the corpse explosions continued without pause, blasting the stone demons one after another. The injuries of the 3 9th level Divine King stone demons worsened, as if surrounded by self-destructing 8th level Divine King stone demons. Each explosion severely injured them. After enduring 10 consecutive corpse explosions, their auras weakened to the extreme. Their massive bodies shrank to the ground, with stones scattered everywhere, and their black and yellow blood soaked the yellow sand, emitting a nauseating stench. But they still weren't dead, barely holding on to their last breath. The 3 stone demons curled their bodies into a ball. Boom! Another piece of flesh turned to powder, and another explosion erupted on their bodies, the immense force impacting them. In the explosion, their screams suddenly ceased, and their curled bodies fell silent.
Are they dead?
Lin Moyu frowned, sensing something was off. Switching to undead vision, he saw 3 extremely weak soul fires still flickering.
They're not dead yet.
As soon as the thought arose, the soul fires suddenly flared up intensely. An invisible force surged from the depths of the stone demon souls, and in an instant, the soul fires became incredibly vigorous, returning to their peak. The 3 severely injured stone demons emitted an earthy yellow light, and the scattered stones flew back, reassembling their bodies. In the blink of an eye, the 3 near-death stone demons were fully restored, back to their peak condition.
Is this a stone demon spell?
Lin Moyu realized he still knew too little about stone demons, but instinctively felt it must be a stone demon spell, some kind of passive spell. But now wasn't the time for research. Now was the time to kill. As soon as the 3 stone demons recovered, they immediately curled their bodies into larger, more solid balls and rolled away. In their ball state, they were both traveling and in their strongest defensive state. Their heads and limbs retracted, and the thickest stones on their backs formed the outer shell of the ball. In this state, their defense further increased. As they curled up, Lin Moryu's eyes flashed with killing intent.
Want to escape? Not a chance.
Boom, boom, boom. 10 consecutive explosions simultaneously erupted on one of the stone demons. This time, he didn't disperse the explosive power but concentrated it on one target. Earlier, they hadn't tried to escape, so Lin Moyu could attack all 3 at once, aiming to kill them together. Now, with the 3 trying to escape in different directions, Lin Moyu decisively changed tactics, focusing on killing one first. The concentrated corpse explosions on one stone demon were several times more powerful. After 10 consecutive explosions, Lin Moyu didn't even look at the result and immediately chased after another stone demon. In just a moment, less than a second, The stone demon had already rolled nearly 10,000 kilometers away. It crashed into the undead army's encirclement, crushing the skeletons as it rolled. Skeletons, death knights, and bone dragons frantically intercepted it, but the power difference was too great to stop it, only slightly slowing it down. The two stone demons were like two massive stars, crushing the skeletons as they rolled across the yellow sand. The light-speed lich appeared beside Lin Moyu, transforming into light, reaching the speed limit allowed by the yellow earth desert, and quickly closing in. Lin Moryu's aura grew stronger, rapidly breaking through the true god realm, surpassing the first level of the divine king realm, and quickly rising. In an instant, his aura reached the 9th level of the divine king realm. Original spell, Power Gathering. Original spell, Strong Soldiers. Two original spells he hadn't intended to use were activated simultaneously, pushing Lin Moryu's combat power to its limit. His realm reached the 9th level of the divine king realm, and his combat power even surpassed it. He quickly caught up with his target, the skeleton king's bone sword appearing in his hand. Spell, Godslaying Slash. The sword light flashed, and the stone demon was split by the sword light, exploding in midair. With one slash, the stone demon was severely injured, and upon landing, it became even more frantic, desperately fleeing, not daring to stop. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly and chased again. In terms of speed, he completely outmatched the stone demon. Above the other stone demon, flames suddenly appeared, followed by a brilliant galaxy. The flame galaxy lich descended upon it, and the projection of the law galaxy poured down, engulfing it in flames. It screamed in agony, its body turning red and quickly melting. Lin Moyu caught up with the stone demon, slashing it with the sharp bone sword, leaving deep sword marks. The bone sword left afterimages, slashing hundreds or even thousands of times in a second. At this moment, Lin Moyu fought with unparalleled ferocity. The stone demon's body was slashed into pieces, shattering again. This time, Lin Moyu didn't give it a chance to revive, completely shattering it with his fierce sword strikes. A surge of soul power came from the stone demon's body, and the original spell absorbed its soul, using part of it to extend the spell's duration and the rest to enhance Lin Moryu's soul. 1328 Chapter 1328. Anyway, there's no rush to save people. On the other side, the stone demon struggling in the flame galaxy had its solid stone body melted, and most of its flesh was burned away. Lin. When the flame lich withdrew the flames, it was already on the brink of death. The flame lich, also empowered by the original spell, had its combat power greatly enhanced. The stone demon, being a high defense, low attack type, had no resistance against the flame lich. However, the flame lich did not kill it, leaving it with a breath of life. Because Lin Moyu needed its corpse, if it were killed by the flame lich, there was a 99% chance that not even ashes would remain. Such good material would be too wasteful. Moreover, when entering the deeper regions, facing 9th level divine king stone demons, this would be the best weapon. Lin Moyu came over, swung his bone sword, and delivered the final blow to the stone demon. He collected the stone demon's soul power, confirming its death. The skeletons came over, dragging the still-hot stone demon corpse back to the base. Only then did Lin Moyu have time to check on the stone demon he had bombed 10 times in a row. His body was blown to pieces, dead beyond dead. 10 consecutive explosions were equivalent to 10 8th-level divine king stone demons self-destructing around it. Moreover, the power of the self-destruction was all concentrated on it, more terrifying than a real self-destruction. Even if its defense had transformed, it still had to die. Lin Moyu returned without making another move. Purple light flickered on his body, and his soul relaxed after reaching its limit, then shattered. The price of the original spell had to be borne. At the moment of shattering, his talent activated. A flash of purple light passed, repairing his soul and restoring it to its peak state. The Starlight Lich reappeared, and after a short rest, it had recovered more than half. With the cooperation of the two liches, plus the Skeleton King and the Scraping Army, they quickly cleaned up the battlefield. Half an hour later, the entire battle was completely over. Lin Moyu stood in front of the thoroughly destroyed base, with skeletons searching for crystal cores from various positions in the base. During the battle, due to the influence of the illusion, the stone demons bombarded everywhere, severely damaging the base. The ground cracked, and the underground yellow sand surged out again. Crystal cores were scattered in every corner, some buried under rubble, some falling into cracks and lost underground, never to be found again. Lin Moyu sighed lightly. This was unavoidable. He could only recover as many as he could. Lin Moyu reviewed the entire battle, although the most intense part lasted only a few minutes. But Lin Moyu had already discovered some shortcomings in his actions. The main issue was his lack of understanding of the stone demons, not knowing that their defense would transform at the 9th level of the Divine King realm. He also didn't know that 9th level Divine King stone demons had the ability to revive. Otherwise, he would have definitely changed his tactics. Additionally, the demons had a strong restraining effect on illusions, causing the Starlight Lich's illusion to lose its effect. Since he knew this from the beginning, he should have delivered the final blow immediately to ensure the demons was truly destroyed. As a result, his oversight led to the premature collapse of the illusion. Although it didn't affect the final outcome, it did cause him a lot of trouble. Otherwise, even if the 9th level Divine King Stone demons had the ability to revive, they wouldn't have been able to escape and would still have been played to death by him. Lin Moyu summarized the gains and losses during the battle, carefully reviewing to ensure he wouldn't make similar mistakes in the future. His aura was slowly strengthening, pushing him towards the 8th level of the True God realm. After using the original spell to kill the enemy, the absorbed soul power was refined, becoming his own power, uncontrollably enhancing his realm. This enhancement could only be temporarily suppressed, and the suppression time couldn't be too long, making it meaningless. In fact, Lin Moyu didn't want to advance to the 8th level of the True God realm now, but the reality was that he had to use the original spell. Especially in the deeper regions, facing battles with 9th level Divine King monsters and demons, he might need to frequently use the original spell. In that case, his cultivation would inevitably break through to the 8th level of the True God realm, or even the 9th level. But not using the original spell was impossible, as the subsequent battles would be even more intense. The growth of his realm would become uncontrollable. Lin Moyu closed his eyes in contemplation. After some thought, weighing the gains and losses, he made a decision. A few hours later, all the crystal cores that could be found in the base were collected. A total of 1,731, almost all of which were 7th level Divine King crystal cores. There were 1,651 7th level Divine King crystal cores, and 88th level Divine King crystal cores. Among the 1,651 7th level Divine King crystal cores, more than 1,500 belonged to the Yellow Sand Demon Eyes. Although they were all crystal cores, there were still differences which could be distinguished. Lin Moyu looked at these crystal cores, pondering for a moment, and thought of a possibility. Among the demons, there were 9th level Divine King Stone demons. Even if their attack power was lacking, dealing with 8th level Divine King monsters shouldn't be a problem. If they took action, they should be able to quickly collect a large number of crystal cores. But judging by the current situation, that wasn't the case. Only 700 or so crystal cores, completely insufficient to summon a leader monster.
Exceeding the leader monster by 1 level will affect the number of keys and materials dropped. If it's an ordinary monster, exceeding it by 1 level means no crystal cores will drop.
Lin Moyu thought this was entirely possible. Otherwise, the current situation couldn't be explained. After some thought, he released a wisp of undying flame and revived a 9th level Divine King Stone Demon. The 7th level Stone Demons didn't know enough, but the 9th level ones, being leaders in the middle layer, would know more. There were only 3 pieces of flesh in total, and now one was gone, making Lin Moyu a bit distressed. The 9th level Divine King Stone Demon was reborn before his eyes, its soul reconstituted. The 20-meter tall body knelt devoutly before him. From its mouth, Lin Moyu learned the confirmed answer, which matched his guess. In the Yellow Earth Desert, to obtain crystal cores, one must be at or below the monster's realm. If the realm exceeded the monster's, no crystal cores would drop after the monster's death. So the 3 9th-level Divine King Stone Demons were purely waiting here to collect enough crystal cores. The information it knew was indeed more. From its mouth, Lin Moyu learned the exact number of crystal cores needed to summon a leader monster. A total of 1,000 8th-level Divine King crystal cores were required. If using 7th-level Divine King crystal cores as substitutes, the number needed would be 10 times, a full 10,000. The ratio between the two was 1:10 and could be mixed. For example, 108th level Divine King crystal cores and 9,000 7th level Divine King crystal cores. As long as the total amount met the requirement, even using 4th level Divine King crystal cores was fine, with the number increasing tenfold for each lower level. If using 4th level Divine King crystal cores, even killing all the monsters in the outer layer wouldn't be enough. The method to summon a leader monster was also simple. Just pile enough crystal cores together, and it would automatically summon, requiring no other actions. Originally, they had collected over 3,000 7th-level crystal cores and over 400 8th-level crystal cores. They had completed about 80% of the collection. But after a great battle, most of the crystal cores were lost. Lin Moyu had a thought, and a large number of skeletons immediately began digging, searching under the yellow sand. Unfortunately, after a thorough search, there were no results. The crystal cores had sunk into the yellow sand, disappearing without a trace. Lin Moyu even had the urge to rob the Sand Tribe and Earth Monster Tribe for crystal cores but eventually gave up.
Just as well, I'll take this opportunity to settle down. Anyway, there's no rush to save people. 1,000 years have passed, so a year or half a year won't make a difference.
1329, 1329. Chapter 1329. Filling in the gaps, solidifying the foundation. Lin Moyu, alone, took over the territory once occupied by the demons. Lin. The undead army surged forward, charging towards the monsters. The Legion commanders led their armies, along with the skeleton generals, forming a total of 15 teams. The Legion commanders of the Death Knight army, after using their command abilities, had combat power comparable to the 5th level of the Divine King realm. The commanders of the Bone Dragon army were even stronger, reaching the 6th level of the Divine King realm. Each of the 15 armies was equipped with 200,000 skeleton generals, starting to hunt 7th level monsters. Although their attacks were not strong, more like scraping attacks, they could still cause some damage to the monsters. With their astonishing numbers, as long as they spent some time, hunting 7th level monsters was not a problem. With the passive spell, Undying Undead, and the large amount of Undying Flames given by Lin Moyu, the Legion commanders could not only heal the undead but also revive their subordinates. Lin Moyu was not worried about them suffering any damage. Even if there was some damage, as long as it wasn't too severe, he could always replenish them. At the same time, Lin Moyu revived a large number of stone demons. The 7th level Divine King stone demons merged with the undead army, serving as tanks. This effectively reduced the threats faced by the undead army. As for the 8th level Divine King stone demons, Lin Moyu also revived 20 of them. Their main task was to hunt 8th level Divine King monsters. Lin Moyu had no requirements for efficiency. He knew he would be staying here for a while. As for how long, even he couldn't be sure. The Starlight Lich stood quietly beside Lin Moyu, its gaze vigilant, its body glowing, looking very enchanting. On the other side was the Flame Lich, burning with fierce flames. Together with the Starlight Lich, they protected Lin Moyu like guardians. Further away, the only 9th level Divine King resurrected being stood in the yellow sand, gazing into the distance. The 3 of them surrounded Lin Moyu, acting as his protectors. Lin Moyu sat cross-legged on the yellow sand, his entire body slightly fluctuating with laws. The undying law flowed around him, spreading and gradually expanding. The forces of life and death within the undying law intertwined, sometimes merging, sometimes separating, sometimes colliding, and sometimes existing independently. As they constantly changed, they produced various profound principles, all of which were slowly absorbed by Lin Moyu. He began to comprehend the laws. Previously, he had advanced too quickly, not through normal cultivation but by forcibly enhancing his soul realm through original spells. The enhancement of his soul realm also increased his control over the laws. Although it seemed fine, Lin Moyu knew that such an enhancement meant his understanding of the laws was not deep. His foundation was not solid. It was like a child doing math problems, knowing that $9 times $9 equals 81 because they memorized the multiplication table. But they might not understand why $9 times $9 equals 81. Lin Moyu was in a similar state. The forced enhancement of his soul had also increased his control over the laws. But he didn't understand the fundamental issues. Perhaps it wouldn't cause problems now, but when he reached the divine sovereign realm, issues would inevitably arise. At that point, trying to go back and fix things would be much more troublesome. So Lin Moyu had always been looking for an opportunity to reorganize the laws and solidify his foundation. He just hadn't had the right opportunity until now. This was a good opportunity, and Lin Moyu decided to take the time to comprehend the laws thoroughly. As for hunting monsters, he left that to his subordinates. The yellow sand howled, and time passed day by day. Unknowingly, the former demon stronghold was covered by the endless yellow sand. The sand continuously surged, gradually swallowing everything in the stronghold. Only the area where Lin Moyu was remained unchanged. In the starry sky outside the yellow earth desert, the nightmare sovereign slowly opened his eyes. A massive stone demon, over 100 meters tall, slowly flew to his side, shrinking as it approached, eventually becoming similar in size to the nightmare sovereign. This transformation showed its respect for the nightmare sovereign. Although both were divine sovereigns, their statuses within the demon race differed. The stone demon sovereign's voice was hoarse, like rocks grinding together.
I just received news that our stronghold in the middle layer was destroyed by Lin Moyu. 3 9th-level divine kingstone demons were there, and they all died.
The nightmare sovereign responded lightly.
It seems Lin Moryu's combat power has surpassed the 9th level of the divine king realm. Can we contact the stone demons in the deep layer?
The stone demon sovereign replied in a low voice.
We are trying, but it's difficult. The isolation of the Yellow Earth Desert is too strong. We only get some information when an avatar dies.
The nightmare sovereign understood.
Keep trying. We can't enter now, so we can only wait for him to come out.
The stone demon sovereign said.
Some of the avatars were those of divine sovereigns from our race. Now those divine sovereigns are calling for Lin Moryu's destruction and even for war with the human race.
The nightmare sovereign sneered.
Just a few avatars died, and they want to start a war? Let those divine sovereigns lead the charge. Do they dare?
The stone demon sovereign remained silent, not responding. Starting a war with the human race was no small matter. Even divine sovereigns could fall on the battlefield. No one would risk their life for an avatar. The nightmare sovereign waved his hand, signaling the stone demon sovereign to leave. The stone demon sovereign retreated, continuing to try to contact the stone demons in the deep layer. Although the demon avatars were powerful, the isolation of the Yellow Earth Desert made it difficult for the main bodies and avatars to communicate. Only when an avatar died could some information be transmitted back. But the information was often incomplete, just fragments. The stone demons pieced together the information from many avatars to understand what Lin Moyu had done. Among the demons Lin Moyu killed when he destroyed the stronghold, many were avatars. Some were even avatars of divine sovereign stone demons. Lin Moyu didn't know this, but even if he did, it wouldn't matter. He would still kill them, perhaps even more enthusiastically. Time passed day by day, and the illusion outside the Yellow Earth Desert remained. The nightmare sovereign was very patient, like a hunter waiting for his prey, willing to wait for years if necessary. Seeing this, the other demons could only wait quietly. In the blink of an eye, a year passed. During this time, 2 more divine sovereign stone demons arrived, their avatars having been killed by Lin Moyu. Now, there were 5 divine sovereign stone demons here, plus the Flame Sovereign and the Nightmare Sovereign. To kill Lin Moyu, the demon race had dispatched a total of 7 divine sovereigns. Zhu Qiwu, hidden in the shadows, found this increasingly interesting. His eyes flashed with divine light, speculating on what Lin Moyu was doing inside. The layers of the undying law enveloped Lin Moyu. Compared to a year ago, the undying law was now thicker and deeper. Lin Moyu sat at the center of the undying law, his eyes slightly closed, a gray-white moon slowly rotating behind him. The heavy laws enveloped him like a real star. After a moment, Lin Moyu slowly opened his eyes, exhaling a gray-white breath. 1,331,330. Chapter 1330. A monster of the 8th level of the Divine King, Earth Giant. Gray and white breath, like silk ribbons, flew out for thousands of kilometers without dissipating. Lin. Where the breath passed, one side of the desert instantly rotted. The yellow sand turned black and silently dissolved. On the other side, green plants appeared on the yellow sand, turning the desert into an oasis. The power of life and death was fully displayed in this breath. The vision behind him disappeared, and the strange stars faded away. The layers of laws rolled back like waves, all returning to Lin Moryu's body. Lin Moyu didn't know how much time had passed. He had lost track of time in the yellow desert. His realm was still at the 7th level of the true God, with no progress. His soul hadn't strengthened, his realm hadn't advanced, but he had solidified his foundation, firmly grasping the laws he should have mastered. Now, if he could get a bit more soul power, he could step into the 8th level of the true God without any worries, or even the 9th level. Each advancement would greatly enhance his combat power. For the demons in the deeper regions, Lin Moyu had already put them on his must-kill list. Unless they escaped now, they were doomed. He gathered all the law auras and looked into the distance. Not far away, a pile of crystal cores reflected the light of the fireball in the sky, appearing very dazzling. A sweep of his soul power quickly gave him an accurate count. There were 3,565 7th-level Divine King crystal cores and 52 8th-level Divine King crystal cores. Including the previous crystal cores, there were now 5,216 7th-level crystal cores and 132 8th-level crystal cores, converted to 7th-level crystal cores. The total was 6,536. To summon the leader monster, he needed 10,000 7th-level crystal cores, still short by 3,467. Originally, there should have been more 8th-level crystal cores. The ones responsible for hunting 8th-level monsters were the resurrected stone demons, all at the 8th level of the Divine King. They were very efficient at first, but as more got injured, their efficiency gradually decreased. After 100 days, the resurrection time ended, and the resurrected ones collapsed simultaneously, with no more 8th-level crystal cores coming in. The undead army tirelessly hunted 7th-level Divine King monsters. However, they encountered similar problems. After 100 days, the resurrected stone demons acting as tanks collapsed. Their efficiency also inevitably declined. Of the 3,000-plus 7th-level crystal cores, half were hunted before the stone demons collapsed, while Lin Moyu was comprehending the laws and had no time to manage. Knowing this information, Lin Moyu calculated from the hunting efficiency that his law comprehension this time should have exceeded 300 days. Time flew by during cultivation. He was merely solidifying his foundation, not advancing his realm. If he wanted to advance his realm and comprehend new laws, it would take many years. Lin Moyu had experienced seclusion before, so he couldn't choose to advance his realm here. Even if he wanted to go into seclusion, he would return to the human world and enter the time house.
Still short by 358th level crystal cores, which means 358th level Divine King monsters. It seems I have to take action myself.
358th level crystal cores are equivalent to 3,500 7th level crystal cores. At the current efficiency of the undead army, it would take another 500 to 600 days. Lin Moyu didn't want to wait any longer. he decided to take action himself. Relying on his 2 original spells, he knew that as long as he advanced to the 8th level of the Divine King, hunting monsters of the same level shouldn't be difficult. While hunting monsters to obtain crystal cores, he might also absorb enough soul power. He was just a step away from the 8th level of the true god. With a bit more soul power, he could smoothly advance to the 8th level of the Divine King. With increased combat power and soul strength, his endurance would be stronger, giving him a better chance to break through the deeper regions. Retracting the undead army, Lin Moyu walked towards the direction of Fireball number 8. He was currently in the area covered by Fireball number 6, bordering both Fireballs number 8 and number 9. Lin Moyu didn't care much, he just chose one randomly. No matter which one he chose, the destination was the same. Leaving the base, he walked at a leisurely pace for half a day and finally felt a different aura. In the previous area, the laws of sand and stone were dominant, with the aura of earth laws relatively weak. But now, the earth laws began to stand out while the sand and stone laws weakened. Lin Moyu knew he had entered the area of 8th level Divine King monsters. Unlike before, there was only one type of 8th level Divine King monster. The monster was called the Earth Giant, uniformly 15 meters tall. Usually, they stood motionless like statues, but once someone entered their territory, they would instantly revive and attack the intruder. The Earth Giants were covered in earth laws, forming armor with incredible defense, much stronger than the Yellow Sand Demon Eye, and even comparable to stone demons of the same level. Their attack power was also astonishing. Their bodies, composed of yellow sand, were compressed to the extreme under the influence of earth laws, reaching an incredible weight. Just like the sand rain used by the Yellow Sand Demon Eye, each grain of sand weighed 1,000,000 pounds. These 1,000,000-pound grains of sand were further compressed and combined to form the Earth Giants, making their weight unimaginable. Each Earth Giant weighed as much as a star. A single punch could shatter a star. They moved freely in the yellow desert, using earth laws, becoming extremely terrifying monsters. Lin Moyu pondered the information about the Earth Giants. There was only one way to kill them: decapitation. Cutting off their heads was the only way to kill them. Soon, a giant statue appeared before him. A golden giant, with hands raised to the sky, stood in the yellow sand. The Earth Giants had a warning range of over 10,000 meters. As long as one got within 10,000 meters, they would awaken. Before they awakened, all attacks were ineffective. In other words, trying to attack them from 10,000 meters away would be useless. Lin Moyu knew this was a rule of the Yellow Desert, and he had to follow it, just like following dungeon rules in a small world. Previously, Lin Moyu might have chosen to bypass them. But now, a faint light flashed on Lin Moryu's body, and his aura rapidly increased. Original spell, Power Gathering. His aura surged, breaking through to the Divine King realm almost instantly, then continued to rise. In less than 2 seconds, his aura stabilized at the peak of the 8th level of the Divine King. Just a bit more and he would reach the 9th level of the Divine King. The light of the Power Gathering spell had just faded when the light of the Strong Soldier's spell lit up again. With the Strong Soldier's spell, all his attack damage was enhanced tenfold, and he could absorb the opponent's soul. Lin Moryu's combat power truly reached the peak of the 8th level of the Divine King. With the 2 original spells, Lin Moryu's soul couldn't last long and needed constant enemy kills to replenish. With battle intent rising in his eyes, Lin Moyu charged forward. As soon as he entered the 10,000-meter range, the Earth Giant suddenly awakened. Blinding golden light burst from its body. Earth laws surged wildly, and an invisible force fell, enveloping Lin Moyu. 1331, 1331. Chapter 1331. Slaying the Earth Giant, Law Suppression. While Lin Moyu was charging forward at high speed, his body suddenly sank due to the immense gravity, almost causing him to plunge headfirst into the sand. Lin Moyu reacted quickly, instantly adjusting his center of gravity and maintaining his original momentum. Not only did his speed not decrease, but it actually increased. He transformed into a stream of light, moving at the fastest speed the yellow desert could tolerate, and in the blink of an eye, he arrived in front of the Earth Giant. Holding a sharp bone sword taken from the Skeleton King, he slashed out a simple and unadorned strike. The sword light cut through the yellow sand and landed on the Earth Giant, producing a harsh scraping sound. The extremely sharp bone sword created a huge gash on the Earth Giant, revealing the yellow-orange sand inside. The Earth Giant had no bones or blood. The sand was its bones and flesh. Its body was composed of millions of pounds of sand, making it incredibly heavy, comparable to a star. Such weight and density pushed the Earth Giant's defense to the limit. Lin Moyu felt that the Earth Giant was even stronger than a stone demon of the same level. He moved swiftly, slashing out hundreds of times in an instant. The scraping sound was extremely unpleasant, accompanied by the howling wind, echoing between heaven and earth. The Earth Giant's body was covered in wounds, but the flowing sand quickly healed them. The next moment, the Earth Giant fully awakened, its 20-meter-tall body twisting, and its huge palm slapped down like swatting a mosquito. Despite its large size, the Earth Giant was astonishingly fast, unlike the stone demon. As the palm swung down, immense forces from all directions pressed down on Lin Moyu, as if countless giant hands were holding him tightly, preventing his escape. This was the power of the Earth Law, using the power of the law to trap the opponent and ensure its attack would not miss. Lin Moyu did not dodge but instead slashed at the giant palm with his sword. With a bang, the sword and palm collided, creating a massive wave. The palm was pierced with a large hole, and Lin Moyu drilled through it, continuing to slash at the Earth Giant. The edge of the hole on the Earth Giant's palm emitted gray gas, with the sand constantly rotting and dissolving like decayed flesh. This was the power of death within the Undying Law. In his initial flurry of attacks, Lin Moyu did not use the Undying Law. He wanted to see if pure physical attacks could harm the Earth Giant. They could, but only lightly. Even if he could kill the Earth Giant this way, it would take a lot of time. After a simple test, Lin Moyu understood the Earth Giant's situation and began using the Undying Law. To eliminate the Earth Giant, he needed to deal with its Earth Law. Wrapped in the Earth Law, the Earth Giant had astonishing defense and attack power, especially around its neck, where the Earth Law was most concentrated and its defense strongest. The power of death within the Undying Law could corrode and dissolve the Earth Law. Lin Moyu's entire body surged with law power, and the domain of the Undying Law opened, with a strange star rising behind him. He rarely fought personally, and the number of times he used the law domain was very limited. People thought he relied on his undead army to dominate, but few knew that his Undying Law was even more formidable than his undead army. This was because the opponents he encountered were much higher in level than himself, greatly weakening the effect of his law. If they were of the same level, his enemies would deeply understand the terror of a first-tier law. The law domain enveloped the Earth Giant, with the power of death spreading out like invisible waves. The domain was gray and white with both life and death. The strange star above his head also turned gray and white, and suddenly, the gray half shone brightly. The white in the domain retreated, and the gray of death became the main theme. The power of death engulfed the Earth Giant, constantly corroding its Earth Law. The bone sword in Lin Moyu's hand was also covered in gray, and when it slashed the Earth Giant, it created wounds far deeper than before. The wounds were large and deep, filled with the power of death, accelerating the corrosion of the Earth Law. In the blink of an eye, the Earth Giant's body was covered in wounds, and the Earth Law enveloping it was nearly shattered. If Lin Moyu's true level were not only True God 8th rank, with a law mastery of only 24%, he would have already slain the Earth Giant. The Earth Law, though strong among third-tier laws, was far inferior to the first-tier Undying Law. From the perspective of laws, the Undying Law suppressed the Earth Law. If Lin Moyu's law mastery reached the level of a God King 8th rank, he wouldn't even need to use his sword. The Undying Law alone would be enough to kill the Earth Giant quickly and easily. The Earth Giant, filled with rage, launched a counterattack, punching at Lin Moyu. Its speed was incredible, and with its heavy body, each attack was powerful enough to destroy a hill. Moreover, the Earth Law could form restraints preventing Lin Moyu from dodging. The Earth Giant's punches rained down continuously. Lin Moyu also slashed out with his sword, matching the Earth Giant's speed. He did not dodge, choosing to confront the Earth Giant head-on. The bone sword and giant fists clashed in midair, creating shockwaves that spread out like waves, lifting all the yellow sand within a 10,000-meter radius into the sky and causing the ground to sink noticeably. After hundreds of collisions, the Earth Giant's fists shattered. Lin Moyu, carrying the sword light, severed the Earth Giant's fists. By this time, the Earth Giant's body was severely weakened by the corrosion of the Undying Law, and the law armor it formed was on the verge of collapse. Lin Moyu's gaze fell on the Earth Giant's neck, where the Earth Law was most concentrated. But now it was much weaker than at the beginning. He calculated the time, focused his gaze, and fully unleashed the Undying Law, slashing out a sharp sword light. Technique: Godslaying. The head also turned into sand in the air, with a crystal-clear core falling out.
A God King 8th rank core, still 349 pieces short.
Lin Moyu collected the core along with a soul force. The soul force was not strong, about a third of that from killing a stone demon of the same level. Lin Moyu knew this was the difference between monsters and true living beings. The monsters in the Yellow Desert, strictly speaking, were not true living beings. Although they had souls and sometimes flesh, they were different from the living beings of the Great World. Getting a third of the soul force was already good, enough to maintain his current state and even improve his level. The original technique dissipated, and his aura returned to normal. Then a purple light flashed, and his soul went through a process of collapse and recovery. After a few seconds, Lin Moyu's aura suddenly began to rise again. 1332 1332. Chapter 1332. A small step in realm, a big step in combat power. After obtaining the soul power from the Earth Giant, it was refined through the Talent Giant Tree and the 9-colored Dragon Soul Crystal, transforming into extremely pure soul power, becoming the stepping stone for Lin Moyu's advancement. Lin Moyu's soul smoothly advanced by 1 rank, from True God 7th rank to True God 8th rank. The essence of his soul strengthened again, and the spell star in his soul world shone brightly. Although it was just a small advancement in realm, the overall strength increased significantly. The number of the undead army remained unchanged, with the 3 basic skeletons still able to summon 3 million each. Death Knights numbered 1 million, Bone Dragons 500,000, and Legion Commanders also 1 million. However, due to the insufficient number of the undead army, only 15 Legion Commanders could truly exert their commanding power. The number was too small, which was unavoidable. The combat power of the 3 basic skeletons had reached the peak of the True God realm, even touching the level of the God King realm. With the enhancement of the commanding spells, the Death Knights and Bone Dragons reached the 2nd and 3rd ranks of the God King realm, respectively. Their Legion Commanders reached the 5th and 6th ranks of the God King realm. The Skeleton God Generals reached the 4th rank of the God King realm. As the skeletons improved, the combat power of the Skeleton King also rose. His combat power reached the 8th rank of the God King realm, enough to confront any enemy of the same rank head-on. With the advancement of Lin Moyu's soul, the limit it could accommodate also increased. Although forcibly advancing to above the 6th rank of the God King realm would still cause the soul to collapse, Lin Moyu felt that he might be able to elevate his power to the realm of a minor God Sovereign. Not reaching the God Sovereign level, but surpassing the God King level. In this way, even if he encountered a minor God Sovereign, he could still have the power to fight without using his trump cards. Advancing a small realm enhanced all aspects. The only 2 aspects that did not improve were the physical body, which was still at the peak of the True God realm and difficult to enhance without special cultivation methods, and the elemental lich, which required high-quality materials for advancement. The realm advancement had no relation to the elemental lich. Lin Moyu estimated his current combat power, and due to this advancement, his efficiency in obtaining crystal cores would greatly increase. With the cooperation of the Skeleton King, the efficiency of slaying earth giants would also greatly improve. Looking at the yellow sand still swirling in the air, Lin Moyu moved towards the deeper regions. The closer he got to the deeper regions, the more earth giants he would encounter, and their density would also increase. He might even face the situation of encountering more than 2 earth giants simultaneously. Soon, Lin Moyu saw the second earth giant. It was identical to the previous earth giant, with its hands raised as if holding up the sky, as if the fireball in the sky was about to fall. Behind it, about 20,000 meters away, there was another earth giant. Looking further into the distance, the number of earth giants began to increase gradually, more and more. They stood in the yellow sand like sculptures, enduring the baptism of wind and sand. The previous earth giant was just an appetizer. Now was the main course. Lin Moyu summoned tens of thousands of legion commanders, and at the same time, 2 skeleton thrones with blazing flames appeared above him. 2 skeleton kings stood up from the skeleton thrones simultaneously. One skeleton king was 10,000 meters tall, the strongest skeleton king Lin Moyu could summon, with the combat power of the 8th rank of the God King realm. The other skeleton king was only 100 meters tall, the weakest skeleton king. Its combat power was even inferior to the skeleton god generals. The weak skeleton king threw its bone sword to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu only needed its sword, not its combat power. The original spell activated, and his aura began to rise sharply, also reaching the limit of the 8th rank of the God King realm.
Go!
With a thought, Lin Moyu and the skeleton king charged towards the earth giant. Next to the 10,000-meter tall skeleton king, Lin Moyu was as small as a mosquito, insignificant. Even the distant earth giant was insignificant. However, combat power could not be measured by size. The 10,000-meter area was the earth giant's alert zone. As soon as the two stepped into it, the earth giant suddenly awakened, and a tremendous force fell on the skeleton king and Lin Moyu. The skeleton king, with its towering figure, was unaffected. Lin Moyu, who was prepared, was also unaffected. At the moment the earth giant awakened, still 5,000 meters away, the skeleton king had already made its move. The giant bone sword, at least 7,000 meters long, slashed down. With a loud bang, the earth giant was forcibly cut into the yellow sand. The massive shockwave swept out like a sandstorm. The enormous size brought unparalleled impact. Even the earth giant could not resist. With the tenfold damage brought by the strong soldier spell, the skeleton king's sword had already surpassed the 8th rank of the God King realm in pure power. Under the yellow sand, the earth giant held the giant bone sword with both hands. But it could be seen that its hands had completely collapsed, and the earth law was rapidly repairing them. The undying law domain enveloped it, and Lin Moyu had already attacked. Lin Moyu, shrouded in a strange star, transformed the law into a dense power of death, quickly corroding the earth giant. The undying law not only prevented the earth giant from recovering but also concentrated its power to corrode the earth giant's neck. Faintly, Lin Moyu could hear the sizzling sound of the earth law being corroded, like cold water poured on hot iron. With a thought, he raised his long sword, and the skeleton king also raised its long sword, their movements identical. Spell: Godslaying. 2 godslaying strikes erupted simultaneously, targeting the earth giant's neck. This was the earth giant's strongest point, but also its weak point. Under the 2 godslaying strikes, the neck was severed, and the head flew into the air. The earth giant's body collapsed, the head turned to sand, and a crystal core fell out. Advancing a small realm greatly enhanced combat power, and with the cooperation of the skeleton king, slaying earth giants was effortless. Lin Moyu collected the crystal core and looked at the earth giants 20,000 meters away, and the countless earth giants behind them.
The hunt officially begins now.
Outside the yellow sand land, the stone demon god sovereign once again came before the nightmare god sovereign. With a respectful tone, he said,
Nightmare God Sovereign, we have finally contacted the stone demons in the deeper regions.
The nightmare god sovereign did not ask how they made contact but said,
Has Lin Moyu gone in?
The stone demon god sovereign shook his head.
Not yet. He might be collecting crystal cores in the middle region, preparing to summon the leader. Our people are already prepared in the deeper regions. As long as Lin Moyu dares to enter, he will surely die.
The stone demon god sovereign spoke with confidence. The nightmare god sovereign, however, was not as confident but did not refute the stone demon god sovereign's words.
I hope so, but Lin Moyu is not easy to deal with. Have your subordinates report any news immediately.
The stone demon god sovereign nodded.
There is one more thing to tell you.
The stone demon god sovereign said.
Lord Jinshi's offspring is also in the deeper regions. It is through Lord Jinshi that we were able to contact the deeper regions. Lord Jinshi's offspring said he would kill Lin Moyu and not let him come out alive. Lord Jinshi's offspring.
The nightmare god sovereign's expression changed slightly, and after a few seconds of contemplation, he said,
I understand, I hope so.
1333, 1333.